Well, hi there. In another of my videos I made Ableton Live randomized chord progressions. So when you have the feeling that everything you play sounds the same and you have a hard time coming up with something new, you can make Ableton Live compose like an infinite number of chord progressions that you then can listen to and hopefully find something that you like and make a song out of that. And in this video I thought we'd make some randomized melody on top of these chords. So let's just listen to what Ableton Live composed for me that other video. Yeah, I think it's kind of cool. It's sort of interesting because, I mean, the music, the style of the music is sort of big room house kind of thing, but it's a loop that is not 2 bars or 4 or 8 or something else that is periodic. It's a 3-bar loop, and still, at least I think it sounds natural, and I don't think I would have come up with a 3-bar loop if I set myself down thinking I would make some Tomorrowland house kind of music. But so that's one of the points here. By doing this you will come up with the things that you wouldn't have come up with otherwise if you did like you always do things. So now let's try to do some melody on top of this. And first I think I will move over to the session view. So I will select all of this and right click and say consolidate time to new scene. Now we'll jump over here, and here are my chords. Like so. And in that other video I used MIDI clips and the follow action functions on the MIDI clips to do the randomization. And if you want to watch that video, I put a link to it down below, but you don't have to watch it to follow along in this one, so stay cool. But when I do the melody, I think I will use MIDI effects instead. So over here we have a little new MIDI track with some sort of synth lead on it, like so. And of course, when you do random notes, you could just, I don't know, put a single MIDI note in there, and then on this track put a arpeggiator, so we get 8 notes, and then you can use the random effect and just pull the chance knob up, and this will result, of course, in random notes. Let's just listen. But I don't think that's very nice. Would that fit together with the chords? Let's find out. No! No, it does not fit together. And that's because a lot of these notes doesn't fit within the E minor scale, because I made a little music in the key of E minor. And then we can of course put the scale effect after this, so I just get the minor preset and set it to E. Then we'll get notes that are within the E minor scale. But still it doesn't sound good. It sounds random. And I don't want it to sound random, I just want it to be random, if you know what I mean. So let's remove this and just make a little MIDI clip to show you what I mean. To make a melody that will sound natural together with the chords, you have to somewhat connect with the chords. Well, have to, but it's easier if you try to connect with the notes that are in the chords. So if I make a new MIDI clip that is 3 bars long, the same length as the chord progression, and then we'll watch the chords and this melody at the same time. Now if I get a little note in there, I can just, you know, place notes on the notes that are in the chords, and then obviously these will fit together. So let's listen to that. Yeah, the notes fit together with the chords because the notes are in the chords, but you can also use the notes in the scale in between the chord notes. So I can, like, if I start out on that one, maybe I will use that one so that I'll walk from that note to that one. So let's listen to what this will sound like. Perfect. It will sound natural and connect with the chords. But now I'm writing melody. I don't want to write melody. I want to randomize melody. So let's get rid of these. Well, like so. And now then, how do we do this with the MIDI effects? I would say instead of just having one single note feeding into this MIDI track, I will have my chords. So I copy the chords to this track. Then we can start doing some fun stuff. Let's start out with the arpeggiator. And I think I will set this to quarter notes now. And then I will set the style to random. And that obviously means that at every quarter note it will pick one of the notes that are in the chord. So yeah, we get chord notes, but the melody is still not very interesting. So let's get another arpeggiator and set this one to 8 notes. And what will happen now? Well, a quarter note will be fed in if I remember to pull the gate up a bit, so it won't just play 50% of a quarter note. So I bring the gate up. So we get a quarter note in, and then every note will be played twice. And sometimes obviously it will feed the same note twice, but you know what I mean. Now comes the interesting part. I want to randomize rhythm for starters. And to do this, I think I will group this so we'll get a MIDI effect rack. And I open up my chains and I will open up the velocity. And now I will duplicate this first chain. And this one I will set to another note value. Let's take quarter notes, like so. And then I right click here and say distribute ranges equally. So the velocity of the note coming in will determine the rhythm of the note. And now we'll randomize the velocity. So let's get a velocity MIDI effect and pull the random knob up. To make sure it will randomize all the way, I will get myself another velocity effect in front of this one and set the out values to 63. Then we know we will get a MIDI note with velocity 63, which is right in the middle, and the other velocity effect will randomize it across the whole range. So now we will see the little marker jumping up and down. Like so. And now there's just one little problem, and that's the synth won't play very loud when we get low velocity. So therefore I will copy this one to after this MIDI effect rack. So every note coming out into the synth will now be 63, but 63 maybe is kind of low. I will set it to 90 instead, like so. Do you see where I'm getting at now? Let's duplicate one more and do a 16th notes. Like so. Right click and distribute ranges equally. Okay, so we got some random rhythms. Now I want some random rests as well. Rests are important in music. So let's create a new chain without anything on it. Deactivate that chain, right click and distribute ranges equally. Hey, look at that. We get a rest over here. Like so. But now, something more. I want to have movement with the notes in between the chord notes as well. And to do that, I think I will copy the one playing 8 notes, and then in front of this one I will get a chord effect and set the first one to 2 semitones up. So we'll get the note coming in, and then we get the note 2 semitones up into this arpeggiator. And the style is up, so it will first play the low note and then the note that is one step above the note in the chord. If I solo this and drag it out, so you will hear what we'll get. Sometimes we will get notes that aren't in the scale, because it's not 2 semitones between every note in the scale. So now we need that scale effect again. I will get the C minor preset and change it to E minor, because that's my key. Yeah, now everything sounds peachy. Let's duplicate that one and do one that is going down from the chord note. And now we'll set this one to -1 and change the style to down. And the reason I set it to -1 instead of -2 is that this minor scale preset moves notes down when they're wrong. So I'll rather be 1 semitone wrong up than down, because he changes them downwards. So let's solo that one. So let's remove solo, right click and distribute ranges equally. Oh, now we're starting to get something. Let's do 2 more. I will duplicate this one, and I will set it to -3, so we get a jump of a third down in the scale. And then we can duplicate this one and set it to +4, so we get a jump of a third in the scale up. And right click and distribute ranges equally. Yeah, now it sounds like some sort of melody, doesn't it? So now let's record some melody for us to listen to later, and see if Ableton Live can compose a nice melody for our chord progression. And to do that, I will just insert a new MIDI track. I will get my ins and outs out, and I will select MIDI from the track that is generating my notes. Arm the track and press record. Well, wasn't that nice? Well, you can let him record for as long as you want, of course, but this will be quite enough for now. And now to listen to what I just recorded, I will go to the track that I had before, and I will move my synth playing my lead sound to this track, and I will set monitor to off. Otherwise it will be fed with all these notes that this channel is generating. So now we'll play this and see what he came up with. So this is the first progression, the first loop of my chord, I will press Command L and make sure that it's a 3-bar loop. And if I like this, I will copy it to a new scene, and then I will continue listening. And when moving this, you will see that start marker will always jump 3 bars, so the notes will always fit together with the chords. So let's see what we have down the line. This is cool. I copy this to new scene. Moving on. Yeah, and I'll keep that. Yeah, and I can go on picking stuff out, of course, forever, but I think you get the idea. I hope this little tip was useful for some of you, and that you got inspired to go out there and hunt for your next beautiful melody that you hadn't thought of if you didn't do something stupid like this. Bye for now.